My friend, Mick, is a cowboy and a rancher from Wyoming. He shared a story with me that really got me, a perspective that I want you to hear. He spoke of the spring of the year in Wyoming when the mother cows were brought down to the desert pastures to calve. And depending on age and condition, he talked about how the cows would be sorted and tended. The young first calf heifers were the ones that needed the most attention. They often had the most trouble in delivery. As they neared delivery, Mick spoke of Chris, the cattle foreman, and his crew of men that would sort them out and bring them into the sheltered calving stalls. And then he talked about how the men would rotate shifts, watching over those young heifers night and day to be there when they delivered. Many of them indeed needed help delivering that first calf. And sometimes, Mick described, the calf would be lost, and sometimes even the cow would be lost in the delivery. Speaking of Chris, the foreman, Mick said, I saw this young cowboy jumping with joy over saving a calf and then weeping when a calf was lost or born dead. End of quote. Mick went on to tell about Chris actually even setting up a trailer out in the desert in order to be closer to the cows, where day and night he would ride the herd looking for that lone cow off by herself to give birth. He checked the brush where they would often hole up, and sometimes Chris would even track those cows, but always he was there. And if a predator threatened the cows or the baby calves, Chris and his men stood between them and the predators. When the calving season ended, the cowboys would then take the herd up to the lush mountain pastures where the calves would feed and grow fat. And now, let me quote what Mick said. He said, quote, when fall approaches, the aspen leaves turn yellow, covering the mountain slopes with a brilliant yellow. The mountain maples pop with their red crimson leaves. The air is clear, and across the canyon is heard the shrill bugle of the elk. All signs of an approaching seasonal change and the unavoidable onset of winter. The cattle are rounded up and brought down off the mountain to their birthplace. The calves are sorted away from the mothers and trucked off to market. As a ranch manager, this is an exciting time where the ranch receives its paycheck by selling the calves. As the auction proceeds, these beautiful calves enter the arena and the cattle brokers begin their bids. I look over at my cattle foreman, Chris. He's in tears. Looking over at me, he indicates he can't stay when he leaves the auction. Right there. Noted. Why is Chris, the cowboy, in tears and can't stay? Mick concludes with this powerful lesson. He said, I never eat a steak or any meat without thanking God for the sacrifice our animals make on our behalf. I also thank God for good cowhands who love their animals and the environment. Mick said, I'm proud to be a part of this great cowboy heritage. End quote. I can't tell you how profoundly grateful I am that this lifestyle was once part of me. It's part of my heritage as well. Sacrifice brings forth the blessings of heaven. And one of those greatest blessings is love. What we sacrifice or who we sacrifice for, we love. That is in part what the Lord Jesus meant when he said, I have graven thee on the palms of my hands. End of quote. Mick, thank you. You said it way better than I ever could.